What's up guys, my name is Team Base here and today we're back with another video. As y'all know, I've been doing a little vlog over the weekend of how YCS Orlando has been going. It's the end of the weekend. I did not make anywhere close, but no, I did make close today too. I'm gonna at least admit that. I ended the weekend on Saturday, X3, after 9 rounds of Swiss. The only reason I'm doing this is 1, need to do content. 2, I feel pretty good about how the weekend went overall. I felt I lost to Variance. Was just a great weekend. Shouts to Nash, who is recording it. Darth Nash, posting his channel will be in the link in the description box below. Shouts to Gary for being the GOAT, hanging out with him all weekend. Caleb, a million thousand people. Mo for helping me cook up the list and everything. By no means was this a topping profile, but I felt some of it was a bit instructional, and obviously I wanted to share with y'all my kind of new favorite deck right now. So we're gonna get into it. I played Mitsurugi Ryzeal for the event. As y'all know, I took Fiends with Ryzeal to the Philly Regional, got my invite. But for the list, we have 2 Amino, 1 Futsu, very standard, and then I played 3 Saji, 1 Kusanagi. I didn't play Nightsword Serpent. I felt as though Nightsword Serpent wasn't worth it. I kind of just wanted to be able to max consistency, which you'll see is the theme in the deck. And I drew him occasionally, and I think over the course of the tournament I breaks maybe 2 or 3 times really. And if my 3 losses were to Mermail, which I'm playing a breaker deck, I'll spoil it now, and so you can see how that went. And then against Ryzeal Fiendsmith, I just specifically punted, which I realized immediately as it happened. And then against White Forest, which it was just like it was the second time I bricked, was game 1, and then game 2 he just opened like God. But anyways, so yes, it's a very standard monster lineup. And then I played the 3 ritual spell, 3 prayers, and 1 trap. I mained the trap because we're playing the breaker version. We want something to set off thrust if needed. I didn't have to do that, but I felt it was still pretty fine. This also is technically an extender. If in your comp, because there's a couple times where I got hand trapped. This happened exactly at locals once, this past week before the YCS, where I ended my combo with Ice in hand, and then an Amino and a Imps on the field, and I had set this with Amino pass. I lost. But what I realized after, Ice send this, special summon, banish this, summon Saji Kusanagi special, tribute your ritual, you search, and then that's duo drive and detonator. I did that exact play, and it worked out great. So having this sometimes available was nice, and if you just, if it's one of those things where if you draw it, you draw it. So yeah, that was it for the Mitsu engine, and then for the boring cards, 3 Bonfire, 3 X. I did play 3 Ice just because I wanted to see as many ways to play as possible. I kept everything at full post side with the 1 sword, 1 node, and then I sided out cross. Yeah, I drew node probably a couple times. I think I did normal sword once, but otherwise, these guys were the GOATs. Absolutely crazy cards. Fiends with Ryzeal did just win the YCS, and Mitsu was in finals. Which was pretty cool. But yeah, so basically I liked this amount of engine. I kind of just wanted to use engine to be able to break boards, and it worked a lot of the times, especially in I played against the mirror and it worked really well. I did play the Dogmatica package. I love my QCR Euro Nadirs. They're so stunning, and I did get my Secret Maximus back. This actually worked great, just as there were some times where I literally just played Dogmatica Ritual, and it worked out well. Sometimes if they have the Desert, you eat it. Ideally, if you're playing against Fiendsmith Ryzeal and you have to do this going first, you make the Dweller beforehand. But otherwise, this was also an easy side out against rank 4 decks, which made siding really easy. I felt like my list was quite efficient, and so having being able to use this as a siding pattern was really nice. And I mean, I love the Dogmatica stuff, so we played that. For the non-engine, I played 3 Ferraros. The GOAT of the weekend, Forbidden Droplet. Holy shit, this card was absolutely insane. I am going to be looking at a hand trap approach to this deck very soon, because I think it might be the direction to play this. But if I do that, I definitely want to keep Droplet in somewhere. Droplet was just absolutely amazing. Being able to use it with your quick plays, outing Dweller, outing just insane boards was absolutely incredible. I played 3 Talents, 3 Thrust, and then 1 Imperm. This is very similar. I will admit, I did watch the Trick Masterclass, and it was helpful, so shout outs to him, actually. And I did kind of like base some of it and took some of what he had said into this, and where I think originally it was basically like the list he was talking about in his video was like this, where it was a 40 card version of the list without the droplets. But I wanted just more non-engine in the main, being in terms of defensive cards, and more opportunities to see things going second, and so I put droplet in, and droplet was just the best decision I ever like made. Talents was great, being able to rip hands, being able to play through things. My loss was because I have talents ripped and saw a bestial, and then he got a bestial on the following turn, and then I just like completely didn't play around it, even though I knew it was there. So it was like such a pilot error where I could have definitely won it. But yeah, all this non-engine for the breaker version I think was absolutely great. That was 43 cards in the main. For the extra deck, we played 2 Detonator, 1 Duo. It's kind of all you need. Sometimes, there's one time I did send Detonator off of X to then be able to set up like a Duo material. I'm starting to realize maybe that setting up Duo early rather than committing to the Ryzeal stuff, or sorry, to the King of the Feral Imps is good, because then once you set it up, you're able to play. 3 Twins Eclipse, this card's broken. Like, this card's just insane. Holy shit. It's so broken it would have won the YCS finals. 2 King of the Feral Imps. I think I used twice, maybe like once, but it was just good to have in the grind game. Dweller is insane into just everything. This card is going to get banned, probably like the OCG. Dugaris, you use this for the ice combo, and I did use it to be able to do a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. And I did draw 2 actually a couple times to help get into non-engine, so this card was great. Exciton, that's also the GOAT. We actually use him for the nuke effect or to just force interactions. Sometimes in the mirror, or at least in the one mirror I had, I used him to like bait the purification, or against Ryzeal Fiendsmith, bait the cross, which is good. But the best feeling is be able to go use this. They activate something, chain droplet, and you're just like, bet, I'm gonna nuke the whole entire board. For the other target cards, we played 1 Mirror Logic, pretty standard. X and this is like just an FTK. Then we played 1 Garura, 1 Entis, 1 Herald, and 1 Farasheet. These were all great. I considered some other targets of just being able to send things like, actually, maybe Malong would be kind of funny if you need to deal with the Detonator. It kind of works a little bit like, what's it called? Ultimate Slayer. But, you know, it's like, it's something to consider, but I think otherwise this was like a pretty streamlined extra. You could like cut a Feral Imps, but I really wouldn't. For the side deck, we played the card that exists and stopped me from playing Malice. Which y'all know I love Malice, but yeah, this card's broken. It helped me win against Malice. 3 Perulia, this card was fine. I played against like, I think a decent amount of matchups in which it came up, but it was eating ashes a lot of times. 3 Meow, shouts to Andrew for letting Daniel for letting me borrow these. Unfortunately, the most use I got out of them was using one of them with a special summoned ice to make a Dweller under Featherstorm. But hey, it came in clutch. The theory is there. I think this card is pretty decent just to have as like the 4th, 5th, and 6th card against Malice, because that was a deck I was really worried about going into the YCS and just being like an FTK. There was a lot of FTK decks going into this YCS, which is really crazy. Which, shout out to Nash. Go check out his video. Holy shit. He was insane. 6-3 with his amazing Gen X deck. Holy shit, I'm going to link that down below. 3 Droll Knockbird. Kalsen Schlossenvogel is the GOAT. I sometimes cited it in going first, along with 1 Called By and either a D-Barrier and a Sanctum. And yes, it kind of like conflicts a bit with your engine, but you know, it's just, you need this as a defensive card, and honestly, if I'm going to play a hand trap version, I'm going to bump this to the main. Siding patterns were like I thought were really smooth going second, because like I said, we take out the bricks in the deck and then just the engines that didn't matter into other matchups. But going first, I think was maybe where this deck was like a little bit weaker, oddly enough, in terms of non-engine. The engine's really strong, but I think in terms of non-engine defensive cards, it could use a little bit of work. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys will enjoy the YCS Orlando vlog. I'm hoping to do some post YCS analysis content soon, so stay tuned to the channel. Shout outs to Nash again for recording. Go check out his channel down below and his awesome content. Shout outs to Gary. I'll link him down below as well if you don't know him. Holy shit. And yeah, this is Marty. I'll see y'all later.